It's me again. Welcome back. I am actually recording this video for one specific person. This is the purpose behind it. But then I realized as I started the creation of this that this is for so many people. So recently I found out that she is battling an autoimmune disorder, which I know very many people who are battling autoimmune disorders. And I know very many people who have very many things wrong. When I got married in 1998, my sister-in-law died from multiple myeloma before the wedding. I had not heard of multiple myeloma. And now I think I have 6 people that I know who have multiple myeloma. How can this be? That's what this video is about. You know, illness. I'm not very popular, but guess what? I used to get sick a lot. Like every New Year's Eve, I had laryngitis. Every Thanksgiving, our mother had porphyria and ended up in the hospital. These things that we just expected. So I want to start at the beginning of my spiritual journey, which was 6 years ago. So I would say about 5 years ago, I went to see this larger than life person at the Pantages Theater in Tacoma. Deepak Chopra. Okay, so I mean, I am not like a consuming spiritual stuff. It's like everything came to me through guidance and internally. So going to see somebody, I don't do this stuff. But went to see Deepak Chopra. He came to town and he was big, and I thought, let's do it. So anyway, I was mesmerized. I paid attention. But he said something that didn't feel right. It was very interesting. I remember thinking, he's wrong. But of course, who am I to call out Deepak Chopra? He was wrong about something. I just felt it to my core. But what did I know? I was new on this journey. Fast forward years later, last year, when I have conversations and record my dear friend Maria Elena Mexia, and we're talking about similar things. And she says something completely counter to what Deepak said. And I'm like, yes. And so we had a conversation about it. What Deepak said was that our bodies, because of our mind and the power of our like creating our own reality, he said, you can change anything but genetics. And I was like, if you could change anything, if you can regrow a limb, what do you mean you can't change genetics? I was like, no, it didn't feel right. And so doing the conversation with Maria Elena, it's like, of course we could change absolutely anything by our thought. Our thought alone can change everything. So for everyone who has some form of a disease that they're dealing with, I have bad news for you. That's it. You subscribe to it. You chose what's going on in your life. Oh, I know you're pissed. You're like, oh, bullshit. I didn't. Oh, okay. Okay. Just why don't you pause for a minute? Pause the recording while you go through your emotions. Okay. And then we'll get back to business. Many, many years ago, my 2 sisters and I, we all found out that our real birth father, we had the same father, he had polycystic kidney disease, and there was a really good chance any of us could have it. They said 50% chance, whatever. So we made the decision we would all 3 be tested at the same time. We all went to get our ultrasounds. And I remember laying there, a perfectly healthy 30-something, early 30s. And I was watching this girl. She's like doing this thing on me. And I'm looking like I see my body. And she's measuring these big black spots on my body. And I'm like going, holy crap. I just remember feeling like, oh my God, I have a disease. I have a disease. And it was a Friday. And I was going to see my doctor on Monday. And I just remember they're like, okay, well, your doctor will get back to you. And I'm like, no, 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 no. I'm like, I need to talk to somebody. I'm like, I saw stuff on there. And they're like, ma'am, no, you have to talk to your doctor on Monday. And I'm like, I'm not leaving. I refused to leave until somebody would confirm my biggest nightmare. And so finally, it was like before 5 o'clock. I think the radiologist, whoever ran the place, came out and said, fine, you have polycystic kidney disease. Okay, you happy? I'm like, okay. So I left and I went home, and my sisters and I reconvened, and Dawn and I had it, Lynn did not. So 2 out of 3 have it. Oh, I was angry. I got nothing from this man. Now I got something. Literally, I was pissed. I was like punching pillows, drank way too much wine. I was just like angry as all get out. And then it was like, all right, I have it. Apparently I've had it, but it doesn't have me. Off I go. So literally it was like, I move on. It's in here. Clearly it's been in there. It hasn't done anything. So I literally just closed the chapter and I moved on. My sister took it to another level. She was already a victim, a card carrying victim, 5 husbands, just miserable life. So she took, it's like, oh my God, on top of all the other horrible things going on in my world, I have a disease. It was like a celebration. She talked about this disease so much to her young children that this adult onset disease became a childhood onset for her youngest, because you're going to get it. You're going to have it. It's like, it's ours. We all own it. We own this. We have this. And so guess what? They all had it. And guess what? They can decide how they want to live with it, because we all can. We get diseases. I have this genetic thing now, and I have had this thing, but I know it will never, ever be a problem with me. I know that the cysts are shrinking. They will never affect me because I don't get sick. I can't get ill anymore because I have gone through this process, this spiritual journey, to where I have gone through every compartment of my life that had darkness, that had any stain, any imprint that affected my body. And I got rid of every bit of darkness, heartache, pain, ball and chain, anything that has ever happened to me, all of the abuse that I went through, the torture that I went through, the sexual abuse that I went through. I could tell you every one of these stories right now in complete detail without having the slightest sting of pain, because it is not my story. These are things that I signed up to go through, to get through, and to come out on the other side. And when you come out on the other side, and when you do the inventory and you purge all the stuff that you brought out with you and you let it go, you take no baggage. But you get sick. Every single person that has cancer, any illness in your body, anything wrong with you and your body, your immune system, your genetics, you have the power to undo and reverse everything by choice. Choice. Choosing to shed all of this stuff that's going on in your world that brings this dis-ease and discomfort. We bring all this stuff on because we're not dealing with the stuff that's still going on inside of us. I can't say this enough. The stuff that you're holding on to, if you were sexually abused and you think, okay, my life is going along swimmingly, everything's perfect, I'm good. It's like, but I have this little secret that I'm not going to share because it doesn't need to come out. I'm sorry to tell you, your little secrets that you're keeping from yourself will manifest. They will come out in some form of a disease. So whatever secrets you're keeping, and I'm not talking about keeping from other people, the hell with the other people. This is stuff that you're keeping between you and God. You're keeping secrets from God. You can't do that. I didn't know there was God, and I dealt with this stuff and I just let it go, not knowing I was letting it go because I couldn't lie to God. I couldn't lie to me. How can you lie to yourself? How can you look in the mirror and say, everything's good in my life, everything's perfect, when it's not? You should watch the video I did the other day that is telling you why your life is not perfect. You're pretending like your life is perfect because all of this stuff is perfect. You've got all of this stuff, right? First of all, your stuff is not making you happy. If you think it is, there's probably most of your illness right there. It's never, ever about stuff. We did not come here to have big fancy houses and the top line countertop and the best landscapers. Because think about when you're laying on your deathbed from whatever ailment it is that's going to kill you. You're not going to be thinking about your countertop and your landscaping. You're going to be thinking about all the lost opportunities and the lost human connection you had because of lying, because of not speaking your truth. You're sick because there's something going on inside of you that you're not talking about. And again, you don't have to talk to somebody else. You got to be honest with you. You've got to get the shit out of you that's causing your cancer, that's causing your darkness. You have to turn, look in the mirror and face it and say, okay, how do I get rid of this? Yeah, people drive me crazy. Like, this is so easy to do, but everybody complicates it. You have stuff going on in your life that is not good, stuff that makes you feel icky. That's what makes you sick. Get rid of the icky, you get rid of the sicky. How's that? Get rid of the icky, get rid of the sicky. All right, Candace, I know you're having fun with this one. All illness is because of a choice. You choose to hold on to something, choose to let it go, and you choose to let go of the illness. Plain and simple. Life is so easy, but we complicate this like crazy. We think we're living our life for all these other people. And when we stop making it about the other people and we go inside for just a second and think, okay, wait, I don't feel good. Things aren't like, what do I need? If you do things that you need that make you feel good, that means you are in alignment from head to toe, throughout, all the way through. You're completely in alignment. Everything's firing the way it should be, and it just pushes out the icky stuff. There's no icky toxins in our body when we're in alignment. When we're being true to ourselves, honoring our needs, our life is golden. It's so simple. You complicate it. You complicate it. It doesn't have to be hard. You choose to be sick. You choose your illnesses. Choose to stop lying to yourself. Admit those things that are your darkness. Let these things out. Let them come up. Let them gurgle out of you. You don't have to talk to a counselor. You should never talk to a counselor. You need to let this stuff go. By the way, people who go to counselors, they keep talking about the stuff that's keeping them in the darkness, and that's why it stays active. Okay, plain and simple. Don't go to a counselor. Don't keep anything active that was darkness. Let it all go. I can't say this enough. I don't do illness. The last time I was ill was when I brought on shingles before I saw my father-in-law, who drove me crazy. I brought on an infection in my spine and tailbone by asking the universe for it. That is it. I used to be sick all the time. Ask my friends. I used to have friends. I didn't want to go to their parties, and so I got sick. Amazing. I got sick. I went to the emergency room 8-10 times over the course of my marriage with anaphylaxis. My throat was closing. Honey, let me tell you, this girl passed out at Wood Creek in the waiting room, and the ambulance had to come. They had to evacuate the waiting room. I got sick all the time. I don't get sick now. I have no ailments, and I'm younger than ever. You choose illnesses, so just stop it. I am willing to talk to anybody about this and help you understand, help you find where that dark spot is in you. You can reverse everything. You can turn everything around. I'm doing it. I don't get sick. I will not get sick. I'm getting younger. I am feeling like I'm in my 20s again. It's like I want to go play so bad, but I don't have anybody to play with. You guys, choose health. Just choose it. Get rid of all the darkness. Anything that's an ache or a pain in your life, in your past, forgive it, send it away, let it go, drop every ball and chain, and just choose health. Why would you want an ailment in the first place? Get rid of it.